So we have already seen like how to get that URL. And then you will see that, okay, what are the systems that have visited that IP address? Okay, so that's the first thing. And let's say you got a system system A, for an example, that have visited this URL, the URL or the IP address, which is 2.3.4.5, for an example. Now the next thing what you will do is that you will get the artifacts. You will get the artifacts of that system. Okay, artifacts of the system A. One other thing I will say that let's keep the scenario quite easy. Let's say the website was visited in last 30 seconds, for an example. Let's keep it simple. So what we will do is that, let's say we will run the netstat -amp. This will tell me what were the process that were kind of make what were. So this will tell me, this command will tell me what will be the process and what is the IP address that process was communicating to. Okay, so this is one of the way, like the command netstat, but there are also different kind of logs. Let's say you have the EDR log, for an example. Let's say the Carbon Black software was installed on your system, and in that EDR log you can quickly see that, okay, it actually maintains a list of like process and IP address. Okay, what process was running and what IP address was running. So now, either with all this thing, you got hold of the process. Okay, and now that process can be either it. So now you see that, okay, it is something like, let's say, Firefox. So you will kind of expect that, okay, it will be, the process would be Firefox, for an example. Okay, so that can be one of the scenario. The other scenario can be that it might be some random software. Okay, so if it is something random, you are pretty sure that, okay, this user agent was something which was configured by the malware to evade the detection. So the malware writer was knowingly set the user agent as Mozilla Firefox Windows, such that if anyone is seeing that header, that request, they would think that it is something the Firefox browser is making that request. But if you go and see that, okay, the process that was communicating with that IP address is something other than the Firefox, you pretty know that, okay, it's basically with a very high chance that it is something a malware. Okay, the other scenario can be that you got something Firefox. Okay, now the concern is that you need to actually look at more details. Okay, you need to look at the parent-child relationship over here. Okay, parent-child relationship. Okay, to figure out, is this Firefox, who started this Firefox? So let's say you found out that this Firefox browser was actually started by, let's say, a random software, like something like this. It started Firefox browser, Firefox. So you now know that it is not a real Firefox browser. It might be something else. There might be a scenario where this might be a malware itself, and the name of that malware is itself Firefox. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you need to kind of investigate, and we will be kind of seeing those all things when we will kind of go into the disk investigation. Okay, and the thing is that this is how the incident will kind of take shape. So this is how you will kind of proceed with kind of doing the analysis. Okay, so that's the only reason, guys. Thing is that obviously you logs will always be there. You will always have the SIEM tools and all that will kind of correlate all the logs for you. But one thing you need to keep in mind, being a SOC professional, one of the main reasons why I am kind of devoting more time toward network side, and also I will be devoting more time when I will kind of discussing the disk forensics part, disk forensics and memory forensics, because once you have all this kind of a good knowledge about network, disk, and performing the memory, you don't need to actually worry about any other tools, like let's say SIEM tools or any other kind of, we will kind of seeing those tools too. But thing is that if you are good in this part, you know that, okay, these are the logs that I need to kind of worry about. So you know that, okay, these are the logs that I need to check for any kind of incident. And you will also able to understand, okay, what's the meaning of those logs. So let's say you are looking at the get header, you will be kind of knowing that, okay, what's all those headers mean like. And the thing is that later, as a SOC officer, definitely we use SIEM tools and all, but these tools are nothing but what it does is like it actually consolidate all those kind of logs in one place for us. Okay, in one place for us, so that rather than jumping over all those systems one by one, what we do is that we just tap upon a central server where we get all the logs necessary for us. But thing is that now once you have all these details, thing is that then you will kind of seeing a scenario, you will be kind of facing a few issues where you will understand that okay, you need a certain log, but that log is not available in the same tool, and that's that okay, you need to jump upon that system and get that log for you. So thing is that, so that's the reason that, so I got an opportunity to kind of discuss this thing. So that's the reason I am devoting more time toward the network part, this part, and I'll be devoting more time to the memory part, because if you guys are confident with this part, you don't need to worry about any other thing. The other tools that you have will only help you in kind of doing the analysis in a much faster way, but it will make you a person where you don't need to depend upon those tools, those vendor tools, like let's say Splunk tool, for example. So Splunk tool, in major of the organization, what they do is that they capture all those log, let's say the EDR log and everything in one place in that Splunk interface. So now if you have the idea, okay, how to investigate a network forensic thing or how to investigate a disk forensic thing, you can quickly, rather than jumping on the system, you can quickly kind of go to the Splunk interface and quickly kind of get those logs for you and do the analysis, because you know how to understand that log. And even if that log is not in that Splunk tool, you can quickly go into that system and fetch that log for you. Okay, so that's the reason. One of the reason I just wanted to say is that why I'm devoting more time to network and responsive part, because this will make you free of like depending upon the tools or depending upon the SIM tools or depending upon any other things to kind of do the analysis. So those all tools will only help you in kind of doing the analysis in a faster way, but it won't help you in kind of understanding what the logs are about and what the meaning about what logs to look at. The first thing, whenever we do investigation, we need to figure out what logs we need to look at and what to infer the meaning from those logs. So these all things will help you in kind of getting answers to those. And then we'll look at few SIM tools and understand, okay, these all logs are just in one place by the SIM tools. And this is how we'll kind of do the analysis. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why I'm devoting this much time. And now to specifically address your question, I hope this is now a bit clear, like how you can kind of proceed with that investigation. Once you, let's say you are suspecting that there is some PC user agent utilized, and you want to figure out if it is by a real web browser or by a malware. So this is how the normal workflow of the investigation will look like. Okay, so is there any further clarification, guys, you need on this one, on this question?
So which means if the attacker changes the user agent also, one way or other, from the other options, we will find out the exact thing what they have done. Correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's go to the next header. Okay. And the thing is, guys, understanding this all theories, I understand like this. This looks like a bit theory, but it's a mix of like lab and theory. It's not just like kind of a notes which I'm kind of reading. It's something we are kind of seeing that. Walking upon the website and kind of visiting the website and then seeing out, okay, how you utilize this tool. So I'm hoping like you guys are kind of getting interested. It's not just like reading from a notes, but doing something in a live format. So the only reason why I am investing more time into kind of, let's say, making you guys understand about this header is that you will be kind of like, I can say like for last year, or let's say for last 2 years, there were a lot of investigation where we actually solved the incident, or we scoped the impact of the malware just by utilizing this header, which is the user agent header. So just by utilizing the user header, we were able to kind of scope what's the impact of the malware, like where are the systems where the malware is kind of running. Okay, with a very high confidence. So this is actually one of the most important header that as a SOC professional we need to know about. like what meaning that